So I have another weird topic that I've thought about a bunch, but like, dude, it kind of works
I
in.
like
It
weird
kind of
stuff.
it works into like goals and
Yeah.
life and stuff. But retirement.
Mm.
Yeah, you ever thought about retirement and like
Yeah.
what that's gonna look like and maybe like what you want it to look like? Because I've gotten I've gotten a close up look at it. I've got people who have who've gotten to retirement, gotten old enough to like see that kind of thing through. I've also worked in a lot of retirement homes, some
So
expensive, some.
not, it's not out of sight, out of mind. It's, dang, I might be there one day.
I mean, I think it's what's inevitable, right? Like death is
It's always
inevitable.
there.
Like,
Yeah. Um, I think about retirement a lot. I messed up and didn't realize I didn't have my Roth IRA set up when I first
yeah,
started, the reserves and, you know, but I think there's again, generational differences between working for your entire life to work towards retirement and then nowadays where I think most people are more focused on the now. So I think if you have a decent setup or a program for retirement, you'll be fine. So like for me, like I've dabbled a little bit in terms of like the different retirement programs. Um, I think when I get to that point, it'll be pay the bills. Again, my same statement: pay the bills, put some money away, or have some spend money. I'm not like I think when
Yeah.
I get to when I'm still or when I go when I'm excuse me. Anyway,
Yeah.
when I'm 60,
Yeah.
that'll be a funny still.
Yeah.
When I'm 60, I think I'm still gonna be doing the same shit I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I want to just freedom, spend some money. You're not rich, but you can kind of do whatever you want to do. So, and I don't think I'm going to change ever.
Yeah.
You know,
I think the same thing. That's what I like to think, anyways. Is that like there's a lot of people that end up in retirement homes and like this is what they wanted,
Yeah.
and many of them paid a lot of money to be there,
Yeah.
and it's what they wanted, and then they're just kind of moving through this like weird space of this like almost like a fake arbitrage of a life where you're like your stores are here and you live here and you eat here and then like maybe you go outside and walk around and but like you're just like in this like place
just floating.
yeah you're
Yeah.
floating. It's like you want to be it's difficult because like it's a house is something that's difficult to maintain but like ideally I would want to just still live. I want to die in a house.
Yeah.
I want to die in my home.
I think that always
Which is weird,
rolls
but-
back to like in the now, like why this generation is so worried about doing things when they're young.
Yeah.
And for me, I always say I don't want to be that old guy and just float by. I want to be the old guy who has the story. Like you can think of your grandparents or your great grandparents or someone in your family member who's at that age, and they can just talk and there's just story after story, like things they've done and they can remember. So my goal is to continue to do things that are worthwhile to write home about. Take your pictures, take your videos, and make sure you're in them because you'll reach a point where you just don't remember where that picture was or taken at. And then also like eat moderately healthy
Yeah.
and
Move.
be in the fitness. Move. I've watched so many people who don't move or were moving and quit moving and died. I watched a guy who total different subject, not to go there. But you get what I'm saying though.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
So I think when this generation, me and you, are at that point, like 50 is not old anymore. 60 is like, okay, like you got to start caring that you're getting old, but it's not really old. If you've been taking care of yourself the entire time, you're really not feeling it until probably like 65-ish.
Yeah.
My grandmother's 82.
Yeah.
And she's like one of the, I say smartest people in terms of like, there's no hesitation in the conversation. It's like sharp, like holy crap, not very many people are like this. And all she does is just eat moderately healthy, take care of herself, and read. Like that's some of her favorite hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had the pleasure of meeting someone who's now passed away, but he was still running the Boston Marathon at like 75, 77.
He's moving.
Yeah.
Let me guess. He got sick, stopped moving, and unfortunately passed.
He just died in his sleep. Just didn't
perfect,
wake up.
man. That's the
right. Isn't that perfect?
Way to go.
Isn't that perfect?
Way to go.
Like I mean, I think his wife got to,
That's a Notebook ending, dude.
had the pleasure. I guess it's hard to say who had the pleasure, but had the pleasure to continue to living like she outlived him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she's still alive, but but they were just living by themselves, like just the two of them, hanging out, and I guess like they probably had some like couple injuries themselves, or just you kind of fall, whatever, and it's hard to heal at the old age, but like, man, they were rocking.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and I was like, man, this is it. This is the way, I don't really think they were drinkers, obviously, but like I still indulge. I'm trying to do less and like smoke that. It's like cigars are nice, and it's like I'm still young. I'm gonna peel a lot of it away, but like.